It's May 15th, 2024. My name is Adam. This is
I'm Desiree.
this is Desiree. And I feel like it just needs to be said that the vegan community might be splitting into two different groups in the future because of the World Economic Forum agenda that they shall eat the bugs and popularizing and normalizing uh, insect protein into regular staple foods like chips and whatnot. I feel like the vegans who eat bugs are going to go one way, and the vegan and bug free people are going to go the other way. And I just want to put it out there that we're vegan and bug free. So if that needed to be said, I'm not sure, but we keep having these conversations of like, hey, why don't you eat figs? Hey, why don't you eat honey? And we were just having the conversation, the four of us, that it's a really simple thing to not eat honey once you find out that it involves bees, for example. Just eat agave syrup, eat literally anything else. It's a really simple thing to not eat figs if you are unsure if they contain fig wasps or fig larvae or worms or bugs. Really simple. You just don't do it. So I would consider myself vegan and bug free. But I feel like a lot of people are going in the direction the other way where they're going to be like, yeah, I'm vegan, but also I eat bugs. What do you think?
Well, I mean, I don't really understand how a vegan could, like, it doesn't make sense to me to eat bugs when you're vegan. Like, the term vegan is not consuming animals and animal products. So I guess in that way, you're not classifying bugs as animals. Um, for me, just inherently, that just seems weird and wrong, and I just don't want to eat bugs. But I don't know. Like I get it. There's always going to be an argument for either side, and that's totally okay, and people make all kinds of choices that we don't make. Like we make other choices, and we just don't want to eat bugs. Like I know there's this whole thing where, they're trying to make it cool and accessible and it's so high in protein. Um but it's also not necessary. Like we live in a time where we have access to so many options that eating bugs is a choice for us and for the people that we know. It's a choice, and again, like people make all kinds of choices. It's fine, but personally, I see no use in eating bugs. I see no need to do it, and it grosses me out to think that I would intentionally eat them. Like if I'm eating an apple and there's a worm in it, I'll not eat the worm. Like you either put the whole apple in the compost or in your garden, or you cut around it and whatever. And I get it. Like being vegan doesn't mean we're some holy group of people that doesn't harm anything and or never eat bugs. Like I'm sure everyone's eating bugs by accident because it's mixed into the foods that we're buying. That's gross enough for me. That's enough. I can't control that. I can't control all of the processes in creating grains and foods and whatever, but what I can control is not buying a product that says contains crickets for the protein. That's something I can control, and I'm choosing not to take part in that.
So we're vegan and bug free.
Yeah.
And I don't want to speak for all the vegan community, but I feel like going into the future, there's going to be like kind of a bifurcation between the vegans who are okay with eating like cloned meat, for example, and the
Yeah,
vegans who
that's another
are,
topic,
yeah,
right?
it's another topic, but the vegans who are okay with that and the vegans who are okay with eating bugs or like not trying to avoid it. But so I'm announcing my new diet. I'm vegan and bug free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, vegan also has this ethical component to it, right? Otherwise, you could say plant based if you're really focused on eating plants. But veganism is also, this intent not to harm any more than necessary. Uh,
Trying to reduce the harm to zero as much as you humanly can, I think,
yeah.
is a pretty loose and accepted uh, term or definition for
Mm-hmm.
veganism.
Yeah. Yeah, so it has an ethical component, and within that, I just don't understand how you would eat bugs all of a sudden. Like, how are bugs not
Yeah.
creatures? Like, that, I don't know. I think like I said, people will have arguments and explain things, and it'll make sense to them, and that's okay. But for us, I have no intent on intentionally eating bugs. It's not for me.
And we're saying
Whatever.
that as off-grid vegan farmers who are growing our own fruits and vegetables, and there might be ants crawling on our lemons right now, but we're not going to pick up the lemon and eat the ant with it. If a worm is in it, like Desiree said, we would take the worm out and then decide whether
Yeah,
we're
or
going to.
yeah, you'd have to see, like, has it been living in there for a long time?
Yeah.
You might just compost the whole fruit if there are other colonies living in it.
On the point of figs, there's a fig tree up the road, and I was walking by. I cracked one open, and it was just completely full of worms.
It was
So,
filled with maggots.
and that's local, organic figs.
Mm-hmm.
So there might be figs in the world that don't include fig wasps, but I don't know where they're all from. Did the people who make or process those really inspect each and every one? Can you guarantee that you're not eating fig when you're eating figs, that you're not eating fig wasps or larvae? I don't think, if you're reasonable, that you'll concede if you're reasonable and say, like, yeah, okay, I can't really make sure that I'm not eating fig wasps. So I mean, our point is to just err on the side of, if you're not sure, just don't eat it.
Well, there's also so many options. It's not like figs are the only fruit that we have access to.
Yeah.
Like if we only had access to 3 different fruits and figs was one, like,
or
that
sweeteners.
would be a whole different thing.
Back to the topic of sweeteners.
Honey, yeah, you've got agave, you can make dandelion syrup. There's like so many ways to have sweet things.
Corn syrup, maple syrup. I mean, there's so many different sweeteners out there. To get stuck on the point of we have to eat honey is really weird.
Yeah,
as a
and
vegan.
Honey is also super medicinal, but so are other things.
So are all of the other
so
things.
Like,
yeah.
I don't know. It's just like with the figs too. Like, there's so many fruit that we can eat. There's so many options.
You know what tastes like fig kind of would be, without the crunchy little insect bits in it, would be tamarind, actually.
Actually, it's true. I was just thinking that too when you said it. Dates and tamarind a little bit.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. Like, because we have so many options, it's not like a huge loss to not eat figs. Like, I don't miss them. I never ate them much before learning about them. And I don't look at figs and like crave them or wish I could eat them ever.
And some people's veganism doesn't include the insect world. And I mean, we're probably taking it for granted that when people say they're vegan, they're not even thinking about insects. But we're the type of vegans who will save the mosquitoes and bring them outside. And mosquitoes are probably one of the most commonly understood, pests that most people, vegan or otherwise, would murder. But we, jar them like spiders or ants and bring them outside because mosquitoes just want to live. Why can't we just let them live? They don't have to suck our blood. They can go suck wild boars or somebody else's blood. But yeah, we're vegan and bug free. That's the new diet that we're dropping. It's a life hack. Thanks for watching the video.